What's up, fight fans? Wes the Best here, and today we're going to be talking about the British edition of the Mirror having a vote, and they asked, who's the best boxer of Great Britain from the 21st century? Lennox Lewis, Tyson Fury, Ricky Hatton, Amir Khan, Brooke, and others were part of the poll. The selection criteria wasn't classical. It was who would win in a hypothetical battle. Tyson Fury bypassed Lennox Lewis and received 53.5% of the respondents' votes. And to tell the truth, this result kind of surprised everyone. So let's try to analyze and break this difficult question down. Is Fury better than Lennox Lewis? To get a more or less complete picture for the comparative analysis, we're going to look at a few different criteria. 1. Their amateur career. 2. Their manner of fighting. 3. How many titles they've held. 4. Their chin. And 5. Their boxing IQ. What do these fighters have in common? Lennox Lewis is the last undisputed heavyweight boxing champion and is considered one of the best heavyweight boxers of all time. In his career, he defeated such famous boxers as Evander Holyfield,
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis,
Vitaly Klitschko, and Iron Mike. Lewis's style in the ring was about being careful, being reasonable, kind of like a chess player. His fighting style was unlike anyone else. He didn't make unnecessary movements, but at the moment when the situation required it, he shot quickly and precisely. His main advantage was the ability to adapt to the opponent and find the right strategy. Lennox Lewis is the 1988 Olympic champion that was held in Seoul, South Korea. Then the citizen of Canada beat Riddick Bowe ahead of schedule in the final. However, this gold might not have happened since the games in Korea were boycotted by the Cuban national team, which was replaced by the legendary three-time Olympic champion Teofilo Stevenson. Unlike Lennox, Fury was unable to make it to the Olympics, although he had a good chance of being included in the squad. Tyson has a good amateur career. At the World Junior Championships, he came in third. At the European Championships, Fury lost to Russian Maxim Papanin in the final, and the Gypsy King decided to go professional. And just to be clear, I am a fan of Tyson Fury, but we must tell the truth. For us, the fact that Tyson hasn't fought battles against Usyk, against Joshua, and Dillian Whyte, this prevents him from getting past Lewis in our opinion. Lewis has had to face and defeat 14 world champions in his career. In 1999, Lennox became the undisputed world champion by combining the three most prestigious versions of the WBC, WBA, and the IBF titles. More than 20 years have passed, and since then, there have been no new undisputed world champions in the heavyweight division. So let's see how Fury responds. Firstly, he took away from Vladimir Klitschko 3 belts, the WBO, WBA, and WBF belts. But before the Absolute Championship, he lacked the WBC belt. Also with Klitschko, Tyson defeated the most dangerous boxer of our time, Deontay Wilder. Against Wilder, Fury surpassed himself and showed true character, resilience, and an iron jaw. For now, Tyson has defeated only 2 champions. However, with that, he has the magic number 0 in the defeat column, which Lewis doesn't have, and that is very important. So let's fantasize. How would the fight of these 2 legendary boxers go? Of course, it isn't destined to happen. This is purely my vision of how this fight would go. I think that unlike the Klitschko brothers, who always avoided direct exchanges, hiding behind their size, Lewis and Fury would not be afraid to exchange. So in moments like this, Fury would probably be knocked out, and Lennox would have cleverly twisted himself out of the clinch, which he knew very well, and at the same time, let's not forget his famous jab with which he set the distance. However, he posed the most danger at the middle distance, where he prepared surprises for his opponents in the form of a right uppercut, which is his signature shot. It was this famous uppercut that stopped the Iron Mike Tyson.
Highly motivated to come into this fight, hoping that this fight would not hold. He can't take that from Lennox Lewis submits him.
As for Fury, it's no secret he's not a dangerous puncher. But in recent battles he has proved otherwise. especially with the bronze bomber. Fury loves to exhaust his opponents. Despite his extra pounds in the ring, he floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. He would move a lot in the ring, he would work well with his body, especially in defense, which would make it difficult for Lewis to get him. One more important fact is his iron jaw. If not for this factor, he would not have seen a victory over Deontay Wilder. But still, I think that Fury has two disadvantages that Lewis would definitely use in this battle. The first one is that Tyson often keeps his hands low, which is the main reason why he got knocked down several times in recent fights. His second disadvantage is that he isn't very good at close range, where he mostly clinches. I'm afraid Lewis would use these disadvantages and catch him with his famous uppercut. Honestly, I wouldn't like to see this fight because, like I said, I'm a fan of Tyson Fury and Lennox Lewis. But I love Tyson Fury not only as a boxer, but as a person, as an example for many people of how to get out of deep depression from a difficult life situation where you might think that's the end. And he's shown and proven with his example that it's not the end, but it can be the beginning of something big. In his case, he climbed out of a deep hole, went through a difficult path, and became the world champion. That's why I give the victory to Tyson Fury, because he's an example of a champion for the younger generations. In this fight, I wouldn't want to see someone knocked out. Therefore, by unanimous decision, Tyson Fury, who knows no defeat, wins and remains undefeated. So I'm going to leave the rest to you guys to get down in those comments and let us know what you think and what you got to add to the conversation. And hey, maybe write about which fantasy fights you want to see us match up next. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.